Once you have drawn and outlined your penguin, make sure that you have colored in the black parts of the penguin. That should be the sides of the face, the little triangle between its eyes, the flippers, and around its body. The next thing we're going to do is color in some parts of our penguin with markers. We're going to color in the hat, the scarf, the beak, and the feet. So for the beak, I am using an orange. And when I'm coloring in, I'm using lines of color and trying to fill in the entire shape so there is no white space left. Then you can think of a pattern for your hat and scarf. I'm going to use a rainbow pattern, but you can use any pattern of your choice. And I'm going to color in my penguin's hat blue and choose a color that goes well with it for the pom-pom. But you can pick any color that you like for your penguin's hat. I'm using lines of color again to fill in the hat, making sure that I get all of the white spots. Next, I'm going to color in my penguin's feet. I'm using orange, but you could also use a shade of yellow if you like. Remember that we're going to leave this part of our penguin's face white and the center of the body white as well. The next thing we're going to use is a chalk pastel in a shade of light blue. We're going to color on the left side of our penguin's body in the white area, just on this edge right next to where the black meets the white. And I'm just putting a little bit of chalk, kind of going back and forth in a little zigzag to color with the chalk, right next to the black, but on the white part of the paper. And I'm just going on the left side. Remember, you can make an L with your left hand. So this is the left side. And then I'm going down about to the middle of the belly there. I'm going to do the same thing on the left side of the face, right next to where the black part of his face is. And I'm coloring from the hat all the way down to the scarf. Now I'm going to use my pointer finger only to blend in this chalk. So I'm using little circles going over the chalk and blending it into the white part of the paper. I'm not blending it towards the black, but I'm blending it towards the white area. This is going to make my penguin look a little bit three-dimensional. It's giving it a little shadow and a glow of color. So use little circles over your chalk and blend it into the white paper. If you have some extra chalk, we can dust that off by lifting our paper up and shaking it a little bit. I'm not using my entire hand because then it would get very messy. We only want to keep this blue on the left side, so I'm not bringing it all the way over here. I'm going to do the same thing on the face. I'm being careful not to get it on the eye too much because I don't really want a shadow on the eyeball. If there's any parts that are missing some chalk, you can add a little bit more on top and make the color show up a little more. Then just blend it into the chalk that is already on your paper. Your fingers are going to get a little bit chalky when you're doing this. You can use a tissue to wipe off any of the extra chalk on your fingers, and you can also use the tissue to clean up any of the extra chalk that got on your paper or other parts of your penguin. The last step is gluing the penguin onto our background paper. Make sure that your name is written on your background paper. Don't forget to write your class code below your name. Then we're going to cut our penguin out and glue it onto our paper. When you're cutting your penguin out, it's really important to go all the way around the feet shape that you drew, all the way around the flipper, and not cut anything off. It might help you to cut a little bubble around your penguin, so just cut off the extra white paper, and then you can go back and get closer to the actual penguin shape. So I cut off some of that extra paper and it's not really in my way anymore. And now I can get closer to the penguin's shape. Once you're done cutting, make sure you throw away any of your extra paper scraps. And then we're going to use white liquid glue to glue our penguin onto our background paper. So I'm going to put glue on the back of my penguin. Remember to open up your liquid glue bottles. You need to twist the orange part of the bottle. When it's closed, you should see and feel a little white dot. When it's open, you shouldn't really see that dot. If you see anything white, that is just the glue. Then shake it a little bit so the glue goes down to the tip of the bottle. And we're going to put a line of glue around the edges of our penguin, all the way around, up around the flipper, down around the body, on the foot. I'm not putting a giant glob of glue, but just a line around the edge, kind of following my penguin's shape. And then I'm going to do a little squiggle of glue in the middle. Now I'm going to carefully flip this over and glue it onto my background. We want to put it about in the middle of our paper, not hanging off the side or off the bottom, but about in the middle. So I'm guessing where that is, and I'm not pressing it down until I really like where my penguin is. Then I'm going to gently press down. To make sure that your penguin stays in place, flip your paper over and give it a gentle rub or pat. This is pressing the penguin to your background paper. Then you can give it a little shake and make sure that all the parts are staying down. If you have anything coming up like this edge here, you'll need to add a little bit more glue and press it down. You can also count to 5 while you're holding it in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have any extra glue coming out, remember this will dry clear, so it's not a big deal. Once you're done with the glue, make sure you twist the orange cap to close it. Then you can put your paper on the drying rack so that the liquid glue will dry. I hope you had fun with your penguin collage project. I can't wait to see how yours turns out.